Well, good morning. And since it's Monday, I want to share a memory. I've noticed that most of the memories that I share are related to something dumb that I've done or something that we've witnessed. I think this might be a little different, but we'll see. My second year in full-time ministry, I was the youth minister at St. Anthony's in Hillsdale. The youth group had been talking and wanting to do a camping trip. So we decided we were going to go to Warren Dunes for a weekend of fun, water, and camping. On the first full day, we were out in Lake Michigan, and we were having a great time. When I started to notice that the undertow was starting to push me out a little deeper into the water. In fact, it was a little scary. So I looked back, and we had about 12 of our young people out in the water swimming. But after I got a mouthful of water, I decided it best to start getting people out of the water. And so I was yelling at them to get out. And I thought that the stress was finally over when I got all of those people out of the water. And I turned back to look and to see a couple of our teens still in the water. So I turned back and started to go out towards them. I finally got to one of them and helped them get to where they could stand up. Then I went to the next one and I got him where he could stand up. Then I got to what I thought was the last person who was in the water. As I was worn out, I was very tired, and I was unprepared because he was trying to tell me that one of his friends was still out there. All I remember him saying is that I couldn't get him. I tried, but I couldn't get him. I turned and to look out towards the far part of the water, and all I could see was a head bobbing in and out of the water. So I started swimming as hard as I could. It seemed like it took forever to get to him. He was as big as I was, so I was trying to figure out how do I get him back to shore. So I started going underwater and pushing off from the bottom and trying to push him towards shore, just a few feet at a time. I kept doing that and talking to him all the time. I was telling him that he wasn't going to die in that water because I was too afraid of his mother. All of that talk was in between going under and pushing him closer and closer to the shore. Finally, I felt someone take his weight from me, and it was two members of our youth group that had told me that I told them to come and stand on the edge of the water about waist high so that they could help me when I got him close to the shore. I never remember saying that, but it sure was helpful. As we got out of the water, and all those involved just laid on the beach for more than a few minutes, I declared that we were going to go back to our campsites. As we were driving away from the beach, we passed two ambulances with lights and sirens heading to the beach, and we later heard that 2 people drowned in that same time period. That night, we had this campfire with the most intense faith-sharing experiences that I've ever witnessed. The teens were convinced of God's protection throughout that terrible ordeal. I remember that the ability to swim as hard as I did for as long as I did really wasn't my own strength that I was using. This terrible moment was life-changing for some of these teens as they shared with one another how they desperately were wanting to help each other. And the one young man shared how hard it was to think that his friend was drowning and he couldn't help him. He was very emotional. The final thing I remember is getting up the next morning, kind of forgetting about what had happened that day until I got out of bed and every muscle ached. I had pains and aches in muscles I didn't even know that I had. It was certainly a couple days before some of those pains went away. But what I treasure and what I remember the most from that experience was that beautiful fireside conversation about the hand of God being part of everything that happened. And so that is what came to my mind on this Monday about this memory. Have a great day.